Short disclaimer before we begin the video, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Doki Doki Literature Club Plus playthrough designed at reaching the older audiences that have been with this game since it originally released in 2017, as well as newcomers going into the series that may want to just start on DDLC Plus rather than doing the old game, and they don't want to, like, play through it, or whatever the case is. Whatever your reasons are, it doesn't matter. So we're going to avoid spoilers in any way, shape, or form. I would assume and hope that you do the same in the comments section. Though if you're newer, I wouldn't even go anywhere near a comments section for something like this. If you've missed all of the warnings and everything else that it also points out regarding this game, it is a psychological horror. I missed one of the warnings towards the beginning, but again, it is a psychological horror. There are things that happen in the background of this game that we will look into as things progress throughout the game. And that's really all that I can say on the matter right there, okay? So we're going to see how this winds up working out in DDLC Plus versus doing so in the original Doki Doki Literature Club, see how it differs and all of that fun shit, again, without spoiling things for the newcomers into the series. So I hope that you guys enjoy. I will timestamp things, I will direct things as they need to be named for the videos and such. We're starting out with a Sayori playthrough on the routes, okay? So part 1 of Sayori route is now. That is almost post-traumatic stress disorder inducing right there. Gotta be honest with you. Alrighty. Hello everybody, welcome back to this. DDLC Plus is a thing, although it doesn't feel like I launched it for some strange reason, but I'm pretty sure I did. I'm a little weirded out by the fact that, like, it has the same launching, is all. But since I don't have any of my saves, this is absolutely 100%, also considering that it's modded with DDLC Blue Skies fucking mod shit on my base game. I know for a fact that this is the right game. Anyway, so we're gonna do this, and I don't want to do that. Get out of here. What's the name that we're gonna go with? I said no. Okay, apparently I got an achievement already, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, so we're gonna go with Fox. I'm weirded out now. Alright, hold the fuck up. I am the fuck up. Please hold me. I actually need to make sure that I launch the right game really quickly. Hold on. Wait, so what if I just... there we go. Dan, you slippery son of a... Okay, so here we go, guys. This is what I was looking for. Alright, so I don't want to say anything about this for anybody who hasn't done anything regarding this game, but if you exit to desktop, then this thing happens right here. We're not going to dig into this right now. We're going to go straight into the game. I'm going to go through a playthrough of the game, and then I'm going to dig through all of this shit for you guys to see. Now, I might as well go through here anyway for funsies, because why the hell not? Cute as fuck. Cute as fuck. Still cute as fuck. Alright. So we've been through all of our pictures. There are plenty more that we can dig through. There's a whole music area where for everything that you wind up playing in music, or that you wind up getting through as we go through the game, we can play it back right here. This will actually become relevant later. No mail right now. Again, will be relevant later. A lot of these things will be very relevant later, but we're not going to dig into that right now. I just wanted to show you guys that this is a thing, and there's also these files where you can see this stuff. Wonder what that's all about later on. Ha, 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 ha. So, we also have side stories as well, which are something else that we can unlock throughout the course of the game. But like I said, we're going to show you these things later on as we go through. I just wanted to pique your curiosity if you're new to the game. That being said, let's dive into DDLC, and let's go through the visual novel portion of the game. And I will showcase this stuff to you guys later on. I want to try to do a no-spoilery thing to some extent for anybody who has never been a part of DDLC in 2017 when it originally released, so that you guys can see what is in the game. And for people who have, afterwards, we're going to dig through it all. Because this game has an extraordinary amount of scary, horrific fucking depth to it, to be honest with you. So, let's get to the fucking bottom of it, shall we? So, alrighty. Now we're back to where I remember everything being. Yes. Good old DDLC. I can already feel the post-traumatic stress disorder setting in. So I'm gonna move this cursor off of this shit. And hopefully my chair doesn't squeak too much. I even toned down my fans a little bit so that you guys can't hear those over everything that's going on. Though I don't think you're fucking hearing it over the music right now because it is quite loud. In fact, I'm actually going to turn it down just a wee bit here. To about halfway. That should be perfect. Let me also check my volume levels here in the record. That's even still a little too loud, to be honest with you. Let's go with that. Because there's no way. That has got to be super loud. Alright, cool. So, back to the game. Let's get into the visual novel shit, eh? Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. Alright, dick. I forgot how much of an asshole the main character was. We used to walk to school together on days like this. But starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's gonna chase after me like this, I feel almost better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Hey. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Fox. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think that we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me, after all. I guess you didn't have it in you to be mean even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. Heh. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Fox, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? Yeah, a club, you know, like a golf club. Anyway, I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Eh? That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. But of course, because there needs to be a relation to you, the player, to the main character. And what other way other than games and anime when you're playing a visual novel? Because very clearly you're into them both. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. I don't know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Fuck the real world. The real world is awful. It is an awful, awful place. Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind, at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. Again, she just really, this whole entire time, just wants you to go golfing. That's what the whole entire point is here. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure I only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please? Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's cunning as to have planned all of this out. Little bit of both, to be honest with you. Little bit of both. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. You know, I gotta be honest with you, that is a small price to pay for delicious cupcakes. Just saying. I dejectedly followed Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Fox, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls! Ha! Huzzah! Our prayers have been answered. The anime waifu gods have... I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that statement. Whatever. Let's continue. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back to the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, full of energy. This is Yuri, the smartest girl in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet the both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Fox. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica is probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come, sit down, Fox. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll go get them. Sorry. I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have made desks arranged in the form of a table, but even that's not at all the wording that was... Fuck this, we're going forward. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? So if you guys can't already get where this is going, yeah, this is going in the exact direction that you think that this is going. Or is it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki licks, yes. She licks the foil. Anyway, Natsuki lifts the foil off of the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! This is exactly the same as I remember the shit being, to be honest with you, back in the day. This is gonna be a little while before we actually, get spiced up in this VN, but I am okay with the nostalgia value that is behind this. This is also giving me some memory back on how this game originally went through the first time, for when I inevitably go back to Doki Doki Blue Sky, so this is actually really useful information. I had no idea that you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around with my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? Yes, stupid. Bite into the cupcake. I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you already, then. I thought you did, technically. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for, you, dummy. Alright. We have a little bit of a tsundere going on here. Baka. Anyway, I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. Best girl, by the way. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Well, I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Again, best girl. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. I have seen this before in my dreams. My coffee warned me about this morning. I hope somebody gets that reference and has played that game. Anyway, something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Against your will, no less. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. Well, we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Were you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity, and how to prepare for events. Again, I think I've mentioned this in both DDLC and Blue Skies, but yeah, that is exactly what that is like. Take it from somebody who actually was part of a fucking student, that was a student treasurer for college for a bit. That's exactly what it is. At least was for fucking community college. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I am fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. Also, I'm not voicing every single character individually. It's gonna be weird trying to remember that shit. It's gonna be very weird. I need some water. And then we continue. You could put it all that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Fox, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. I sense a weeb afoot! Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. Though I have to say, with that description, I am well in agreement. Deep and convoluted worlds and shit that people come up with on the fly is amazing. Hence the reasoning why I love the Library of Ruina, as many of you probably already know that. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Yeah, it is. I'm looking at you, Yume Nikki. I still haven't done that video, and I need to actually edit that shit already. But I'm looking at you, Yume Nikki. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh? Why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. This is the perfect time to insert a meme that I love from Cameron, which is a dude who has his face in like a teller booth at a bank, and it says, "Lower your fucking voice." And it's like separated by periods. It's glorious. And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything about you is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I am not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Yeah, well, I guess I do sometimes. Why do you care? I just think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Ah, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with one another. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Fox? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought, Fox, you all... I am defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. I want it to be pointed out as well that Dan Salvado even put a disclaimer at the beginning of this saying that every girl here is 18 or older. So, this is perfectly legal, everybody. Just if you didn't know. Perfectly legal. But then again, that begs the question too, because you'd think that this is like a high school or something, right? But like, it is actually canonically put right there at the beginning. They are all 18 or older. So, I don't know, that's very interesting to me, thought process. Like, you know, I don't know. We'll talk about it later, because again, I don't want to spoil shit. But, let's try to get to the end of this day, so that I can wrap up the first recording session here, and we'll go from there. Okay, I've decided then. I will join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps around her arms, what the fucking, oh my god, I can't read now. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would have been super pissed. Then, that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Actually, I take it back. Yuri is not best girl, Monika is best girl. Fight me. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next club meeting, so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Fox, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star, Monika, with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Fox, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer with one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Boom! Bang, here we go. Here's the base game, guys. This is the only gameplay in Doki Doki Literature Club for the most part right here. Time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. So there's my mouse cursor. This is the game. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a save right here. This is going to be the neutral area, okay? Sayori is going to be page 2. Page 3 is going to be the Natsuki route, and page 4 is going to be the Yuri route. I don't know what we're going to do for 5 or 6, and I'm probably going to fuck up 2, 3, and 5. Or, yeah, 2, 3, and 4. So, we're going to make this save right here, and we're going to go back to this later on down the line. You will see why we need to go back to that later on down the line, but we're going to 100% this bitch, because I know how to 100% this bitch. And after we clear everything in the game, we are going to expose this game's secrets, and I'm going to crack into it. And you guys are going to see what this game has to offer, okay? So until we get to that point, we just have the visual novel part of it. This is going to wrap up the end of the first part for DDLC+. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you in the next part. Take it easy.